That is right.
All right, so we're working together in the Coaching for Birth Warrior program. So what is it that inspired you to reach out?
Yeah, I think the journey and the shift I took in the midst of my infertility and finding um, relief and comfort and healing in the metaphysical, in the mind body connection space, and seeing how that served me was really the main motivator. Knowing you personally, knowing your work, I knew that it would serve me well.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah,
your experience been so far?
it's just been beautiful, Natalie. And every session, something new comes up, and I think not going into it with an agenda has been this opened up this beautiful process of like discovery where you and I kind of go into something together and we don't know what's going to come up, and um, we roll with it. We have fun with it. We're curious together. And it's such a safe and sacred space where I can really feel vulnerable, and I have the permission to just see what comes up. And it's been really transformational. As I've said, there's things that are in my subconscious that I don't even realize that you have helped kind of extract that needed to come up. And once they did, like, we gave that space and we sat with it and we were curious about it. And then, it was like I just became lighter afterwards.
Oh, I'm so grateful to hear that, and even more grateful to be able to work with you. I
Yeah.
look forward to a session every single time that we have a session. Like, oh yeah, I get to see Katie today.
Yeah, me too.
So going back to camping, what I'm remembering is just how connected you are to nature.
Yeah.
And within our sessions, without sharing the details of the sessions, there, like, that connection to nature has come up. Is that was surprising for you, like going into this new practice of somatic therapy and seeing how your body speaks and the imagery and what comes up for you? Was that surprising?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it, but I think it was really validating. And without getting into all the details, there was one session when I used moss
Hmm.
analogy, and that really stayed with me. And I thought about that over the next couple days. And I'm just, it like really validates, like, this is where I feel most connected to myself. And, this is where you go to seek out peace and sustenance in your life. And it's kind of always been like that for me since I was a little girl. And I don't think I ever gave it the real significance that it deserves in my life until working with you on that therapy.
And I think it really just reinforces not even the idea, but the knowing that the mind, body, and spirit are connected. You know, imagery to come to you and for you to connect to it in a very deep place. And then there's something that shifts in the body, once you reconnect with that. It's just such a beautiful practice.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's so grounding, and knowing the wisdom that our body carries in itself is so empowering. And you just help me access that wisdom that I didn't even know was there.
It's like magic. It's hard to explain what the practice is without someone experiencing it. It's so hard to give all the words to what the full experience is. But
And especially that you're able to do this so artfully virtually is amazing. I really thought that we would have to be, um, you know, in the same room, physically present with one another for it to work, but that was not the case.
What is your hope for your son?
Uh, I I hope that he is free to be his original self
Mm,
in the world.
yeah. Ah, that's powerful. All right. What is your hope for our world?
But there's so many things. No, I hope that the shift we're experiencing as a society right now has a long-term positive effect on the way we treat each other, on the way we treat our planet, and the way we progress as a society, really. I hope that if everybody had more of a mind-body connection and a connection to the natural world, I believe that so many of our ills would be taken care of. We would tread lightly on this planet. We would hold one another in a much higher regard. So perhaps a more simpler way to say it would be that I hope people are able to find more empathy and this idea of like oneness in their hearts and in their bodies. I think that would solve a lot of our ills.
All right. Final question. What makes you a birth warrior?
Oh, well, I want to be like, oh, I'm not a birth warrior. There's so many other women who have had such harder times than me. But I've been reading a lot of awesome books where it's like, no, don't do that. I think what makes me a birth warrior is that I came to a crossroads where I could have been defeated or bitter or angry, or I could have found this as an opportunity to grow interpersonally and spiritually, and I chose that road. And I think now as I'm approaching birth and motherhood, that will serve me and that will serve my baby indefinitely.
Oh, you almost made me tear up there. Well, birth warrior, it is such an honor to know you. And thank you for sharing your story with me today.
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you for all of the work you've done with me. I'll carry it for a lifetime.
It's my pleasure.